that EV Guide. I'm Michelle Nunes and I am here to talk Cinco de Mayo. So how many of you celebrate Cinco de Mayo somehow, even if it's like in a small way? All right, okay, that's a fair number. Now, how many of you actually know what Cinco de Mayo is all about?
2 to 3 ounces of tequila.
Not even close, but this is a really good one. Okay, I'm sorry, what were we talking about again? Oh yes, Cinco de Mayo! Commonly and mistakenly considered Mexican Independence Day by well-meaning folks who will use any excuse to party. You know, like how St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on that special day that leprechauns discovered the New World or whatever. Cinco de Mayo is actually a celebration of the Mexican Army's defeat of the French. The Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. One of those against all odds 300 sort of situations that's great metaphor fodder. It's celebrated regionally and somewhat quietly in Mexico. It isn't even a federal holiday there. Don't get me wrong. You're going to party regardless, I know. The fact that Cinco de Mayo is the celebration of a non-strategic victory in a war that happened nearly 150 years ago doesn't mean that you should stop celebrating it. No! In fact, incorporate your newfound knowledge and celebrate even harder. Go all out this year. Like, you know, you could get made up. You'll turn heads with these striking spring colors all over your face. And while those heads are turned, take the opportunity to school someone on the real meaning of Cinco de Mayo. And you could start your celebrating early on May 5th with a classic Mexican breakfast. But before you dig into the deliciousness, just say a little remembrance to the brave soldiers who fought in Puebla on May 5th. You know, but maybe like just say it quietly to yourself so that you don't bring the mood down and ruin everyone's breakfast. Hey, and would you pass the cinnamon? I've been known to skip right from breakfast to dessert or just to dessert. That's the best time to bust out this tidbit. In the Battle of Puebla, 5 times as many French soldiers died. Which is great for the Mexican army back then, right? That means they win. But it's also the sort of statistics that, like, is hard to get super excited about. People dying. So that's why it's perfect for dessert. The end of the meal, it's all done, great. While you're busy educating people on the real meaning of Cinco de Mayo, it's still important to acknowledge what Cinco de Mayo is for so many of us. It's become a celebration of culture, and that's very cool. So, grab your pointy boots if you have them, and sing the guacamole song!
Guacamole, guacamole.
And definitely have some margaritas, but you know what? Try not to end up like this guy. Check out the playlist for this episode to see full versions of all of the videos that we featured, and some that we didn't get a chance to show. And let those guys, those channels know that Nunes sent you. Also post a comment here to let me know what topics that you want me to cover next. For the EV Guide, I'm Michelle Nunes. Have an excellent Cinco de Mayo and an excellent Olive de Mayo. I'll never do that again, I'm sorry. See you next week.